So guys, I'm currently recording the Q&A during a thunderstorm. Hopefully it's not too distracting. Alright, so I have the account showcase pulled up here. I'm going to go through all the questions first, and then I'll do a raffle for the giveaway at the end of the video. Okay, starting off, Jimmy, are you a real boatman? Alright, hopefully the rest of the questions are going to be a little bit better than this. Next, what are your thoughts / opinions on rankings for endgame Azur lane by Tsuchiguma? Let me pull that up. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, first of all, I think every single ship is here, so if we're just looking for something that has every single ship tiered, this is definitely the place to go instead of my tier list, where I only really maintain what I consider to be enough relevant ships to matter. Seems like it's a lot more fine-grained. You have a lot more specific categories, and it stands well on its own probably. Like if you click something, there's a lot of information, short description. So compared to mine, I'd say mine is more of a supplement to my video content, which is my main thing. And then this one can stand on its own. But yeah, you have to kind of spend a lot of time on here probably to get everything that you need to out of it. Whereas for mine, you kind of just take a look and then you probably start investing in the higher tier ships. But let's see if there's anything. I'll just look at the multi-wave campaign and the single wave bossing stuff for now and see if there's anything I particularly disagree with. So, multi-wave campaign, it looks like the Vanguard ships are also mixed with the main fleet ships, which is fine, I think. Not a big deal. Probably no ordering within the tiers, right? It probably says somewhere. Oh, guidelines. Rating notes. Okay, I don't want to... Yeah, here. Ships are not tiered within tiers. I don't want to spend too much time on this just for this video, but... Kurumi is a little bit high, I think. She's the best in chapter 14 because she can stop the annoying suicide ships, which are the biggest annoyance for that chapter, but like for chapter 15 and 16, she has no anti-air and her damage is quite low, so I rate her a little bit lower overall. But in chapter 14, she's particularly good, I'd say. Everything else looks pretty reasonable. Maybe Trafalgar is a little low. I think her only weakness is she's a little bit squishier than some of the other ships like Z-52 and William D. Porter. But her anti-submarine and her, what's it called? Anti-air can hold their own, I think. Otherwise, A tier, A plus tier for campaign. Maybe independence is a little bit low. But I guess nowadays a lot of the mobbing fleet structure is just one battleship plus 2 healers, so in that sense, I suppose she's kind of being phased out in the mob fleet a little bit. Although in chapter 14, you can afford to only run one healer, I think. So in chapter 14, she's S tier, and then chapter 15 and 16, a little bit lower. So these tiers, I feel like this S tier is really big though. Like Yudachi Meta, for example, I don't know, it's just something so minor, but like for example, Yudachi Meta, I kind of used her. I used her a little bit, but I didn't think she was that good. Kronstadt, I don't think it's that good. Mogador, but it's okay. I think how I use tier lists these days is I look over to see if there are any ships that I personally would rate lower, and then maybe there's like a ship that I kind of overlooked that could actually be pretty good, and then I go test them out and see if there's any value to them. But let's see, Meta Showdown. What do we have here? A tier AVP with Amagi CV. Helena is... Oh, I see. There's her retrofit is split up. And then Shinano, and Shinano with Hakuho / Amagi is A tier. Hakuho is also... Wait, what? Not really sure why. Not real sure why there's two Shinanos then. But, yeah. Overall, I think if you're willing to give it the time, maybe you can find a lot of information on this tier list that you wouldn't be able to see on mine, especially if you don't watch the videos that come with it. And yeah, the tier list maker that I host my tier list on, I made it kind of like a multi-purpose tool where you can also make your own tier list. You can just put things into categories. You can select different skins and make tier lists out of skins as well. But this is also a good resource, and you can probably find some ships that are rated higher here and give them a try if you don't want to believe me. Because, yeah, at the end of the day, nobody's stopping you from using whatever ship you want as long as it works. Okay, it's time to move on. How did you get approached to do something for the 8th anniversary? The cosplay community part of the game got excluded. They first reached me through my email from the YouTube description, and then after that we communicated on Discord, but past that, I don't really know anything, because I'm not part of the company or anything like that. Okay, next, in terms of polling advice, should you really always save cubes, even if there is a chance for a second or third you are dupe? I find it almost harder to get specialized bullets. Yeah, you should save, I think. Unless you're at like 180 out of 200 for the next one when you get your first copy, then maybe you can consider pulling 20 more, but I mean, it's a 0.5% chance if you're just raw pulling, so definitely not worth it in my opinion. I'd rather save those cubes, and if you have enough, you can use them to do research and get some extra cog chips as well, which can become a bottleneck in the mid game. Next, what made you become an Azur Lane YouTuber? So, in the beginning, if you go to like the Otis videos, I was pretty much just reaching endgame while participating in some Discord communities, and I was kind of just showing off the stuff I was doing. But I think I was spending a lot of time in the help channels, and I thought, why don't I just turn some of the stuff I was teaching to newer players into videos, and then I can help more players at the same time. Which is why I started making these guides, and then kind of walkthroughs and stuff, and then I dipped my toes in like a patch rundown. These were pretty bad now, but I was just starting out, and I was getting an audience, so I just kept going with it. Okay, next. If you were forced to create a new account today, how would you prioritize Protocore Shop and GearLab Rainbow equipment? I'm going to preface this by saying that I'm probably not the best person to ask for this, because in terms of new player experience, I think there's people who are a lot more familiar than me. I just spend most of my time making videos these days and not really helping newer players. But let's go in the shop real quick and see what's in there. Out of these, I think having one 457, especially early on, is very useful, even though it's not the best gun, especially for an endgame player, but the lower cooldown is really nice when you don't have enough reload, and especially the reload fleet tech. After that, the LA9 and the Plymouth gun, the quad 152, are equally as useful, I think, and then the other three are kind of just whatever. And then in terms of research, I'd probably just do the current season, because the dive bomber is really good, but in general, maybe... And no, not just the dive bomber, but like this destroyer gun is pretty good, and then these torps are not bad, and then you have the rudder, you have the fire control radar. This gun is also not even bad, so it's a really good season to start on. Other than that, maybe PR7 with the LA9, but yeah, I'd probably just do the newest one for now. Okay, let's hide that. How many runs did you have to do to get Fujinami? She still hasn't dropped for me yet. Well, if you watched the video that you are commenting on, you would have known the answer to this question. Next, did you know that if you click the rightmost event tab on the home screen and then, okay, yeah, I did not know that, thank you. Next, how do you level up your ships quickly? I've been playing for a while and haven't been able to catch up with all the SSR. Okay, I can show you a quick example. Let me bring the game back up. Who do I need to level right now? I could level somebody real quick. Maybe Unzun-chan. So this is the fastest way that I found. Just do this. Tuck, tuck, tuck. If you want to go even faster, you can click this recommended, and it's going to use your purple books. Boom. Tuck. There you go. That's the fastest way, by far. Nothing comes close. Okay, going back. Next up, can you make a video about Meow Officer Guide? You just go on my channel and you type Meow Officer. I think guides should come up. Yeah, so you have the Meow Officers for beginners, watch that, and then the Meow Officer's Guide. Nothing has really changed since then. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Next, what research projects was that dude focusing on that he is at 43 of the prints? That's insane. I don't think he's doing anything special. He's just an outlier in terms of luck. The same person also posted a screenshot of getting 5 rainbow prints from a single project. And then I guess from there, they didn't really go back to average. So that's why. Not really anything special that they did, I think. But yeah. Personally, though, I think if I just get 5 copies of the rainbow equipment, and then I get a 6th one from the protocol shop, I'm happy. And odds are the next season's rainbow equipment might not be as good. Like, you probably won't need 6 copies if it's a gun or whatever, and then you can just go back and do more of this season's rainbow dive bomber. Okay, next, what are your expectations for Yamato, if we even get her? And if not Yamato, what other ship you expect for the JP Annie, or which one you would want? I don't really have any expectations for Yamato, other than the fact that I hope she's like really cool. Like maybe some combination of Mikasa and Hakuho, or not Hakuho, Hakuryu in terms of personality. Yeah, I just hope she gets a really sick design. But otherwise I don't really... Yeah, otherwise I don't really have much thoughts. But if not Yamato, I really want maybe Akagi and Kaga too. Duo UR for the JP Annie, since, you know, duo UR events are a thing now. And Akagi and Kaga are by far the oldest ships, along with Enterprise, who have not yet received unique augments. SX was up there, but not quite as old, and they gave her a retrofit, so I feel like they're probably saving something special for Akagi, Kaga, and Enterprise. But obviously that's just me being selfish because I like Kaga. Next, do you think Azur Lane will get a PC client instead of using emulators? Probably not. Next, what ship should I oath next? You have a taste. You have the taste of a patrician. Just do whatever you want, bro. Like, yeah, you don't have to ask me. Whoever you like. Trust your own taste. What new factions do you think are likely to be added to the game in the future? I have no clue. How close do you think we are to getting playable sirens, and what their mechanics could be? Probably not close. Equipment skins tier list when? I made like a equipment gear skins maybe. Yeah, what makes a good gear skin? I think I talk about my favorite ones here. Not exactly a tier list, but I talk about what makes a good equipment skin, so you can probably put 2 and 2 together. Just give that a watch. Okay. How important is it to keep as many ship girls as possible? So for example, do I need to keep all commons and rares as well? Not really. Especially, I'd say that, like, if you're a free-to-play player or you don't spend too much on gems and you can't really afford the dock space, I think it's okay to retire most commons and rares, if not all. I would recommend after 120ing them for fleet tech, but it depends on how long-term you're thinking. Otherwise, maybe just MLB them for the fleet tech just to unlock research. But yeah, you don't really need to keep every ship. Next, Jimmy-san, can you read Japanese from a Japanese person who has battled Jimmy-san several times on the auction battlefield? Yeah, I can. I took a few Japanese courses in university, so I think I'm about JLPT N2 level. I probably have to study for like a month or so in order to pass it, but the thing with reading Japanese is that, for English, I can see a block of text and get the meaning in like, 2 to 5 seconds or so. But with Japanese, I actually have to make an effort to read every sentence. And every other sentence, there's like a term in kanji I don't know that I have to look up. And if it's like in game and I can't copy paste, it's even more of a pain. So a lot of the times I just end up ignoring it. But yeah, I can read Japanese. Next, how do you play Azur Lane on PC or laptop? Been using my phone, but every now and then it'll crash. Some help would be nice. Um, yeah, this Joel Salvador suggestion is what I use, the Mumu Player 12. And at the end of the day, it's going to depend on your hardware to some extent, but Mumu Player does feel more efficient than the other emulators. Next, what is your least favorite L2D skin? Probably something. I mean, I don't have one specific one on the top of my head, but it's got to be something with a back turned or like they're flying in the air or something. I just don't really like those types of live 2D skins. Next, who is your 9th favorite ship girl? Let me see here. Um, 9th. I can make a. Here, let me do this. Okay. So let's do here. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the ones that are not 9th probably, and then see what happens. So Kaga, Janus, John Bart, Longwu, FDG, Scylla. These are definitely not 9. They're above 9. So we have 6 so far. Let me go look through my doc real quick. Who's going to be 7 and 8? That is the question right now. And then there's going to be some contenders for number 9. Probably Shinano, right? Shinano and Amaki? Yeah. And then after that, like, Cheshire, Bremerton, Baltimore, Anchorage, Unicorn, Alsace, Soyuz. Like, one of these are probably in the 9th spot. But honestly, it changes depending on my mood. Yeah. A gear. There's a few more, but yeah. These are probably the top 8 as of now. Maybe Shinano and Amagi can switch with some of these, but... Okay. Next question. Are you excited about Azur Premilia? Not super excited because I haven't been keeping up with the news or whatever, but I'll definitely be playing it when it comes out. Next, for Operation Siren, do you exchange oil for AP? No, I don't. I prioritize farming coins so I can buy more officers and reset their skills. So I don't actually exchange oil for AP pretty much ever. Next, what is your favorite skin that has released this year so far? I think that was in the last video. I said that it was the FGG Lunar New Year skin. Next, how do you know if you have a good Meowfisser? Just watch the Meowfisser guide I showed earlier in the video. Next, I just got back into the game properly. I've been playing since year 1, but stopped after getting busy and coming back if there's time. I want to ask, what do you hope or expect for the future of the game? And what keeps you motivated to play this game for this long? So I'll just say what I hope, because I don't really have expectations. I hope that they do more buffs for ships that need it. So for like FGO, for example, they buff characters as well, but if a character still needs help after 1 buff, they keep on going. There's some characters that have received 4 or 5 buffs in that game. I think that could be something that would be nice to bring up some of the older popular ships. And then quality of life slash features. Um, nothing in particular, I think. Um, what keeps you motivated to play the game? Mostly the art. I feel like it's. I think 3D art is still not quite at the level of the best 2D art. So a lot of 3D gachas. I just think that it doesn't look. They don't really look as good at the end of the day. And also the fact that dailies don't really take that long if I don't want them to definitely helps. Okay, next. Was it sponsored or was it out of your pocket for the raffle? Um, it's not exactly either. It's closer to out of my pocket, but it's not exactly either. When is the next cooking video? Maybe in a couple months. And then since you are the most touch grass guy out of the popular Azur Lane content creators, have you ever gone to an Azur Lane convention? I haven't. Um I haven't because I'm unemployed. Otherwise, I would if I could afford to. But yeah, one day I'll probably pull up. Hopefully by next year I'll be employed, and then I can just take like a weekend off and go to one. Next, will Yamato be released for JP 10th Annie? We know you know. Yeah. Next, if you're familiar with any naval history, I am not. What ship would you love to see being being a girl that's not already in the game? For me, it's USS Stuart and USS Texas. I would also love to see MNF Auvergne, but very unlikely unless we see a ramp of French events. I would not mind that whatsoever. Also, don't want to be in the giveaway, just adding to the future video. Live in the US and YoStar still has that $100 upcharge, so the $55 gift card is a waste on me. Yeah, so any question that has to do with naval history, I'm gonna just let you know now. I am just a weeb. I don't know anything about ships, so don't expect me to have any kind of in-depth, meaningful answer. What ship would you? I guess Iowa, because I don't know why it's been so long since New Jersey came out, and she's still the only Iowa. I would love to see Iowa being added to the game, and then maybe like another J class. Let's say fantasy paper ship. You are rarity J class destroyer that somehow makes Janus relevant. Um, and as for the giveaway, yeah, the tariffs kind of suck, but I don't think the gift card expires, so you could enter and hold it for a couple of years, hoping that uh, it eventually resolves itself, or you could win it and give it to one of your friends in Europe or South America or Canada or Mexico. Up to you though. I'll probably do more in the future. Um, were the time fuse AA that you crafted worth it? Yeah, I mean the material that they use isn't something I'm short on, so I don't really mind. What did it feel to be part of the Annie stream? How was the experience? Seeing you there was the highlight of the stream. I was there last year as well, actually. The experience was good because both times the response in chat was pretty much unanimously positive. So it was a good experience thanks to you guys. Okay. I started in December 2025 and have been really addicted to AL ever since. Watching your vids and sushis have been really helpful, so thank you. And thank you for the giveaway. So my question for you is, if you could tell one thing to your past self when first starting the game, what would it be? Maybe like maybe think a little bit harder before buying skins. And a more fun question, if you could make a full fleet of your favorite characters, what would your fleet look like? Okay, let's see. Bring the game back up real quick. Boom. And then probably, hold on. I would do, I guess I'll do submarines too. The Italian subs are by far my favorites. And then maybe U-47 I think is pretty cool. And then for the surface fleet, we got the Janus. We got the Scylla. We got Where is she? Longwu, obviously. And then FDG, Kaga, and John Bart. Boom. That'll be my fleet. And it is shit. Okay, next. It's gonna take so long to get to where you are. What is the evasion rate of destroyers, light cruisers, and heavy cruisers for Meta Showdown? I don't know if you mean yours or like if you mean yours, then just go to the wiki. You go here, damage calculation probably. Okay, and then you just enter the stats into this formula, and then you'll get the answer. But yeah, holy shit, look at that light mode. Okay. I still don't know which ships need to be capped at level 125 and stop at level 120. Ships that are tanks or do a lot of damage, personal damage-wise, should be uncapped first, and then ships that are mostly skill reliant and provide debuffs can be left at 120. So, like your Helena is fine at 120. Aurora kind of needs the tankiness, but 120 is fine because you're bringing her for the skill. And then main fleet ships are there for damage, so you probably want to take them to 125. Okay, what was the reason that made you start playing Azur Lane? I saw some of the art and I liked it. Some of the early ones included the Foxes, Atago, Prince Eugen's swimsuit skin, and also my favorite voice actress is Kaya no Ai, and I saw that she voiced like Graf Zeppelin, Renown, Kaga, and Atago, so I was like, sure, I guess I'll give it a try. Okay, next. As a player thinking of returning, what should they focus on their account, assuming they can only clear 13-4? You don't really need to push past 13-4. Like, all you get is you don't even get anything for 14-4, do you? Oh no, you get Houston 2. Wait. Who was the ship for 14-4? Oh, New Orleans. So yeah. Chapter 14, all you get is New Orleans. Chapter 15, you get Houston 2. Chapter 16, you get Fujinami. That's really it. So just grind coins in 13-4, grind levels in probably 12-4, and then just do your operations are dailies and monthlies, and amass your gold plates, make your account stronger, take your time with the game, enjoy all the little things, and yeah, there's no rush really to push too far in campaign. Okay. Next, I love the game, but I don't really like the cat system. How much do cats actually matter in the game, percentage-wise? So if you're not using any cats at all, then compared to the best possible cats, maybe 20 to upward of 30% is what you'll be missing. But the good thing is you can just get the Tempesta cats that everyone has access to. Just put them in the dorm and click a few times a day to level them up and use them in battle. And when you get them to level 30, they are like 80 or 90% of the way there compared to best in slot cat. So you don't really have to put too much thought into it if you don't want to. Next, do you think an Azur Lane sequel is in development? No. Next, what was the reason you start playing Azur Lane? Just answer that one. Question 1, what keeps you playing the game? I think I answered that one already. The skins and the low maintenance. And if you could change one thing about AL, what would it be? Thanks. Probably make it so, yeah, like I said, the thing I want the most is for there to be more buffs to older ships. Next, do you think Azur Lane should have seasonal mode like PoE to have use for new ships? Yeah, that could be a good idea, actually, like events where you have like a couple of factions that you're allowed to use, because those are the factions participating in the story. Or potentially introduce some kind of restriction based on oil cost to bring that back into the game. Next, why a gear hasn't received a Fate Sim beats me. Arknights is getting a PC client. Do you think Azur Lane will get one? Probably not. Best Ironblood team maybe next, maybe not. What are you keeping the additional PR blueprints for? I just don't have any use for disassembling them, so I haven't bothered with them. I don't even know I have that money. What has been your favorite ship for each of the years since you started playing? Okay, let's take a look. We go ships. We go here. And then we do release date. And okay, so this year. Wait. Oh, there we go. This year, I think it's Unryu so far. Maximumon is pretty cool. Bennington's pretty cool, but the year's not over. But for now, it's Unryu. Last year, it was Howden Liu. Honestly, I really liked Baraka, but Howden Liu takes it. Then 24. Well, Sass was 24. Wait, who was September? September was Oh, Amagis. Okay. So probably Alsace. Yeah. Oh, Soyuz. Oh, this was a good year. Oh wait, no, it's Longwu. Yeah, 24 is Longwu, but there were a lot of ships I really like in 24. 23 was the IJN event. 23 was Guam and Laffy 2. Okay. IJN event was Unzen. Okay. Hindenburg, not bad. Kearsarge, not bad. Bismarck 2. Indomitable. Oh, Scylla. 23 is Scylla. 22 is Janus. This is a really good event. Albion and Manchester I also really liked. 22 was Janus, yeah. Oh, this is a good year too. Da Vinci, Plymouth, Seydlitz, nice. Okay, 21 was Anchorage and Aegir and Shimakaze. And Kazagumo. Maybe Aegir, but Anchorage would be very close. That's 21. Then 2020 is probably Shinano, right? Cheshire. Oh, Bremerton. Oh, probably Shinano, but Cheshire and Bremerton are giving her a run for her money, I think. Okay. That was 2020? Oh, Chapayev is also this year. Damn. 2019, Zara. Wait, when was Veneto? Whatever. They don't care about her either, so. 2019, Baltimore and Zara. Zeppy, FDG. If I had to pick one, probably FDG at this point. Although, at the time, she wasn't my favorite. It's only after her Lunar New Year skin that shot her up a lot in my rankings. 2018, John Bart. 2017. 2017. Graf Zeppelin, maybe? Who else is 2017? Is everyone 2017? Then it's Kaga, right? Yeah, okay. Okay, that took quite a long time, but hopefully I didn't forget anyone. Next, how do you make decisions on which Shmei officers to focus or invest in? I think that's covered in my Shmei officer guide, so give that a watch. What is the fastest you've ever completed the new PR Rainbow equipment? 50 out of 50. Not that fast, probably a little bit over 2 months for the first copy. Next, if two ship girl designs could fuse, which would be the best? I don't know. If you don't mind me asking, how much money have you spent on the game? Estimated, maybe low 4 digits, like maybe 2K by now. Next, what first got you into Azur Lane, and what got you to first making content about it? Kind of answered that already. Next, are there new factions / nations you would like to see translated into Azur Lane? I don't really know. And if so, any specific ships in particular? Yeah, I don't really know about real life ships, so I can't answer that to any meaningful extent. Next, are tech point stats necessary in order to clear chapters 14 to 16? No, they're not. Equipment you want to probably get. You probably want to get most of the important equipment to plus 13 and get the best ships to plus, or level 125, but fleet tech isn't that important. It's important if what you want to do is full clear every single stage on lethal, then it's important. But if you're just trying to beat the stage normally, using submarines, using cats, using everything you have to your disposal, just going beelining for the boss and then getting it to safe before full clearing, then you don't really need any fleet tech. Next, when will Yostar release the dual form Live 2D skin for Taiho? Probably this year. Is this the only gacha game you're still currently playing? Do you think it has many years left? No, I'm also playing FGO. I probably spend like 10 minutes a day on that game because it's also very low maintenance. I just spend my natural AP and that's it. I do think this game still has quite a lot of years left. It's been kind of cruising for a while now, so I don't see why it wouldn't continue to cruise. Next, if Azur lane NFC EOS for whatever reason, how would you deal with it? What would you do? Move on with my life probably. When did you start playing Azur lane? Bro's Rich, 2018, I think. Next, what is your day job? I'm currently unemployed. If there's any high-level tech execs, shoot me an email. How do you level so fast? I'm a day one player and I only have 300 120s. There's more people than me that have everything leveled. I don't think I'm particularly fast. I've just been consistent over the years. What type of content or expansion and content would you like to be added to Azur Lane? For me, yeah, so the auction battle top bidder game was really cool. So more kind of cross server PvP or even co-op, like just something where you can interact with other players with low stakes would be good. And also, I always wanted them to do an event where you're exploring like a new part of the Operation Siren map and you can run into hidden bosses and things like that. Maybe you could enter through like a portal on the permanent Operation Siren map. That would be pretty cool. I feel like they didn't do enough with the Operation Siren concept. What came first, the ship or the girl of the ship girl? Probably for the most part, it seems like the ship, right? As a new player that started the game 3 months ago, how much do I need to grind to get a faction of this? I've been playing for 8 years, so you should expect to maybe play for at least 5 years with all the catch-up mechanics. But yeah, you can't just condense 8 years of playtime to like, a couple of hours or whatever. How do people quickly farm blueprints for the new PR weapons? UR projects, SSR rigging, other SSR, non-cube and non-12 hours, non-campaign. Yeah, just keep on SSR rigging analysis. There isn't even one. Do you mean the purple one? Just move other rigging analysis, like the 2 hour and 1 hour up in your priority. So all the rigging analysis in the front. How did you get the pro version of the game? What do you mean by that? Next, what is the best way to get more rainbow plans for the Gear Lab? You just have to do Operation Siren. It's more about just doing all your monthlies consistently. Next, I'm kind of new to the game, so I don't have any in-depth questions. Any ships that have disappointed you over time / ever, or some that you see potential in? Disappointed? Not really. Maybe like, I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now. Maybe New Jersey was kind of overrated in the early days for a campaign because she's so single target focused. Obviously, she was insane for bossing, but yeah, I don't think she was that good in campaign ever. And a ship I see potential in is Longwu. Her stats are very low, but her skills are very good. So if she gets a retrofit that brings her stats up a bit, I think she could be a pretty solid SSR ship. What makes you motivated to keep playing? I think I already talked about that. Anything specific you hope to see added in the future? Just more well-designed ship girls. Art before the gameplay, but like Manju, just hit me up, bro. I got all of the gameplay ideas you need. Okay, next. Why don't you have any plus 13 Drake guns? Okay, you answered yourself. What are your other hobbies other than Azur Lane? Um, I like cooking. I'm a little bit into bodybuilding. I watch the UFC. Um, I play League of Legends. I watch hella anime. Well, I used to watch hella anime. I still watch some. Uh, what else? FGO. Um, I'll occasionally get really into one game. So for a while it was Elden Ring, Night Rain. But yeah, that's all I have going for now. Is there any ship you wish would get redesigned? Design of ship girl or skills? Uh, yeah, there's plenty. I mean, not a complete redesign, like scrap everything, probably not, but like a lot of the old low rarity ships, maybe Fletcher, I think could be a little bit better if she was released today. Definitely she would be better. John Bart, I feel like her augment was kind of underwhelming. So those two are probably the big ones. Have you considered making updated videos on fleets for the near chapters using more recent ships? I haven't considered it, but it's just that I personally don't really play campaign that much. I mostly just turn off my brain and level ships on 13.4 to get coins to do Malfister stuff. But yeah, if I do end up farming the later chapters more often, I'll probably make content about it. Next, 350 stars out of 360 in Operation Siren. Are you ever going to try to complete that? Probably not. I don't see any reason to. It's just a chore and I keep forgetting about it, so I'm not too worried about it. Next, what 3 OG ships need a retrofit or version 2 the most in your opinion? Yeah, like I mentioned, Akagi, Kaga, and Enterprise. But I think it's almost a given. Maybe that's kind of a boring answer. Oh, and John Bart, I guess. All right, next, do you touch grass? I touch your mom's bush if that counts. What are your thoughts on Lollibabas? Not really that big of a fan. What would be your recommended gear loadouts for the new PR9 ships? I don't think any of them have particularly weird equipment choices, so just watch the equipment guide and you should be able to figure it out yourself. Next, what do you think about Azur Lane's endgame content? And if you had a chance, what would you add or change? I think the new chapters could come out a little bit more often. Maybe have the new chapters not only increase in difficulty via level, but just focus on like one thing. Like maybe one chapter will be a bunch of battleships. One could be submarines. Like right now, they just have everything at once and they just increase the level a little bit every time, which is kind of boring. I also want to get rid of the concealment mechanic and add something else because it's kind of annoying that ships that would otherwise be really good, like Z52, kind of just suck in campaign because of the concealment, making their aimed barrages completely whiff for no reason. Which ships, if any, do you think would be UR if they were released today? Veneto for sure. Are there any games you think are underrated that more people should try? Nah. I don't play that many games. Yeah, I tend to focus my time into a couple. Next, can you do an all cross-fleet list? I mean, I could, but I think anyone could do it because it's not like I have them off the top of my head. So I'd have to go through the wiki and dig out each one and then compare them to each other. So I don't think that's something that only I can do. You can probably do it yourself. Next, how do I enter the giveaway? Beats me. What made you start playing Azur Lane? Saw those ads screaming hood and I got hooked on. Yeah, I think I answered that a couple times already. Next, is there advice that could be given out on how to do the older meta fights? Actually, yeah, the new series that I'm making is perfect for that because I'm kind of just, doing the older meta fights with random SSR ships and trying not to repeat using any ship. So I'll probably eventually get to Rodney Meta and Helena, or I already covered Helena Meta. I'll probably get to Rodney Meta eventually. Okay, next. I think 16.4 is at least comparable with 14.4 when it comes to farming coin. Yeah, eventually I'm gonna get to 16.4 for Fujinami. I kind of have to, but for now, I'm just like brain off doing 13.4 still. Finally, do you think that they will ever add a sweeping function for story stages, event stages, and Operation Siren? I believe they announced that they would in some, I think it was this year's Chinese anniversary stream or something. Maybe it'll come out within the year, if I had to guess. Before the next Chinese anniversary, since they announced it this year, but maybe not. I think it will come out at some point though. Okay, I think I got everything. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody's question. All right, now I'm just gonna do the giveaway. Okay, I just finished inputting everyone's name manually into this wheel. Next time I'll probably make some JavaScript thing to pull it all, but hopefully I didn't miss anyone. All right, it's time to spin. And the winner is Derek Domaga, 4018. Okay, so let me see. Yeah, just in my Discord. Join my Discord if you're not in there already, and at me with proof that that is your account before the next video goes up, probably. I want somebody active to win the thing. And then if by the time the next video goes up, you haven't at me, then I'll probably just spin the wheel again. Yeah, for the next giveaway, I'll probably change some things, make it more streamlined, but that is pretty much it for this Q&A as well as the giveaway. Congratulations to Derek, and I'll see you guys in the next one.